Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, from wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome to another episode of Compelled by Purpose. I don't know which road led you here, but I welcome you to take a seat and stay a while. I'm Elizabeth, your host, and without much ado, let's get into today's episode. The 7 Pillars of Wisdom. Proverbs 24. By wisdom, a house is built, and through understanding, it is established. Through knowledge, its rooms are filled with rare and beautiful treasures. Proverbs 9, verse 1. Wisdom has built her house. She has hewn out its 7 pillars, and prepared her meat, and mixed her wine. And she has also set her table. She has sent out her maids, and she calls from the highest point of the city. Let all who are simple come in here. She says to those who lack judgment, come, eat my food, and drink the wine I have mixed. Live your simple ways, and you will live. Walk in the way of understanding. Wisdom, ideally, has built a show house, and she invites men to come in. Come and see my work. Come and see what you ought to do. Let me show you how to build. And she has hewn out its 7 pillars. The master craftsman, that is wisdom, was seated by God's side as he created the earth. That was his learning. That was his training. And if she has hewn out 7 pillars, the next question would be, why 7? And it would seem, as we know, creation happened in 7 days. Something happened in those 7 days that brought about the 7 pillars. Go back with me to Genesis, the beginning. And let's read through creation and allow me to highlight the 7 pillars of wisdom. Genesis 1, verse 1. The beginning. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now, the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. Let there be light. And God saw that the light was good. So there we have our first pillar, light. Let's keep going. And God said, let there be an expanse between the waters to separate water from water. So God made the expanse and separated the water under the expanse from the water above it, and it was so. God called the expanse sky, and there was evening, and there was morning, the second day. So what we see on the second day is a separation. Water from water, but in 2 distinct places. Separation is the second pillar. Verse 9. And God said, let the water under the sky be gathered to one place, and let dry ground appear. And it was so. God called the dry ground land, and the gathered waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants, and trees on the land that bear fruit with seed in it, according to their various kinds. And it was so. The land produced vegetation, plants bearing seed according to their kinds, and trees bearing fruit with seed in it, according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the third day. So the third day has seed bearing. That is the third pillar. Verse 14. And God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark seasons and days and years, and let them be lights in the expanse of the sky to give light on the earth." And it was so. God made two great lights, the greater light to govern the day, the lesser light to govern the night. He also made the stars. God set them in the expanse of the sky to give light on the earth, to govern the day and the night, and to separate light from darkness. And God saw that it was good. That was evening, and there was morning, and that is the fourth day. The fourth day, God established guidance from the sun, the moon, and the stars. Verse 20. And God said, "Let the water teem with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the expanse of the sky." So God created the great creatures of the sea, every living and moving thing in which the water teems, according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. God blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and increase in number, fill the water in the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth." And there was evening, and there was morning, the fifth day. The fifth pillar, abundance. Verse 24. And God said, "Let the land produce living creatures, according to their kind, livestock, creatures that move along the ground, wild animals, each according to its kind." And it was so. God made the wild animals according to their kinds, the livestock according to their kinds, and all the creatures that move along the ground according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, in our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, over the livestock, over all the earth, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." Day 6. The pillar of dominance. Verse 27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. God blessed them and said to them, "Be fruitful, increase in number, fill the earth, subdue it. Rule over the fish of the sea, birds of the air, and every other living creature that moves on the ground." Then God said, "I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the earth, and every tree that has fruit with seed in it. They will be yours for food. And to all the beasts of the earth, and all the birds of the air, and all the creatures that move on the ground, everything that has breath in it, I give every green plant for food." And it was so. Then God saw all that he had made, and it was all very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day. Thus the heavens and the earth were completed in their vast array. By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. And God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. And there is day 7, the pillar of rest. And so there you have it, the 7 pillars. Day 1, light. Day 2, separation. Day 3, seed bearing. Day 4, guidance. Day 5, abundance. Day 6, domination. And day 7, rest. And so, in the same manner, wisdom has built with 7 pillars. And I look forward to breaking down the 7 pillars with you next time. And that's all for today, folks. Allow me to take a breather here. Thank you so much for journeying with me. I pray the words spoken today linger in your spirit and the light of God shines upon you to see something new, to guide you to become the person you were created to be. The world is longing to see it. I would also love to hear from you. Do write a comment, like, and subscribe. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless.